way more destructive to their well-being,
Yeah.
and see like and be like the actual police are super incompetent. So if somebody steals from you, there's like a very low likelihood the police are going to do anything. And the robbers, they do benefit a lot, because if a robber robs your stuff, they're going to benefit. The police aren't
Yeah.
going to catch this guy. The police are incompetent, so
Yeah.
the police are probably corrupt themselves. They're probably going to try to steal from you as well. So
Wait, where are we talking about right now?
oh, just in general, like, yeah, I know, but the thing is, like, I know the West is probably going in that direction, but
Ish. Yeah.
yeah, but I'm talking about just like like in like third world countries in general, like they're
Yeah.
kind of like that. So
I mean, even Sweden at this point, like my dad told me a friend of his that owns a like gold store. He had two burglars coming into his store, and then like they broke the glass. I don't remember the exact details, but
yeah,
somehow they broke the glass, and then they left, and then he called the police after, and then like when the police arrived, the first thing they said was like, "Oh, this is clearly insurance fraud."
oh wow,
That he apparently should have
Okay.
broken his own glass of his own
Yeah.
store to get money.
wow,
Like that level of arrogance
That's
and
crazy.
incompetence, just
Yeah.
because they're overloaded with so many errands to do, they just
Yeah.
write them off without like doing anything.
yeah.
Another person in the countryside, like his house was broken into, and the police are like, "Oh, so okay, somebody
Oh,
broke into your
wow.
house. Well, yeah, we don't know what to do.
Yeah,
Good luck."
I know.
Like-
A lot of there's actually a term that I don't know if they use in Sweden. It's called clearance rates. It's pretty much if a crime happens, what is the likelihood that the crime gets processed and the crime leads to a conviction, and that conviction leads to an arrest.
Mm,
It's called clearance rates.
that's interesting.
Yeah, and each country has different clearance rates, and they kind of differ year by year, and they differ based on the actual crime itself. So the clearance rate for, say, murder is actually pretty high. If you murder someone, the police are gonna get involved.
Because they're prioritizing
Yeah, it's a
that.
priority. But if you get robbed, or if you get like say like a shoplifter at a
Yeah.
store, that clearance rate is very low. Like if someone just takes something from like a convenience store,
Yeah.
they're gonna get away with it. If they leave, they're gone. Like, the police aren't gonna like get involved and spend resources trying to find shoplifters and things. So and people have done studies on clearance rates, and they've actually been going down, which pretty much indicates that the reason why crime rates going up is because the police aren't doing their job essentially,
Mhm.
and they're not really focusing on crime. They're not.
Well-
And the clearance rates going down and down year by year.
If clearance rate is going down, that means less people are convicted of the smaller
Yeah,
crimes, right?
yeah, the smaller crimes. That's what people don't understand. People think like murder is going up. It's not that murder is going up. It's that crime in general is going up. So things like assaults, aggravated assaults, robbery, carjacking, shoplifting, things like that are kind of seen as like lower priority crimes. Those clearance rates have gone down.
I guess that's
year
where
by
you
year,
see
so-
you can tell apart like which nations are functioning and which are not. Because
Yeah.
I believe most nations are gonna go after the high priority like murders, for example.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but you're gonna see the difference on the lower priority things like
Yeah.
the thefts and all of them.
Yeah, pretty much the
Yeah.
thefts and things like that,
Yeah.
and that's why a lot of these shops, they kind of rely on security guards to kind of govern their areas, but security guards are very limited in
Yeah.
what they can do to a shoplifter.
Yeah.
For example, a police officer can kind of do whatever they want to you, but a security guard is very limited by their rights.
By the law, yeah.
by the law. So like I think it depends on country by country, but like a security guard can't like detain you.
Yeah.
They can take your shoplifting stuff, but a security guard can't detain you. And a lot of security guards can't even use guns per se. It
Yeah.
depends.
No, they can't.
Yeah, they can.
And not in Sweden, at least.
Yeah, not in Sweden. Yeah. So
I actually
it
have a
depends.
security guard license. I got it through the military. 'Cause
Oh, okay.
you're supposed to guard the castle in the military in Sweden. So we actually had to go through like a security guard course, and then a lot of that is like the laws. What do you have the right to do? What do you like?
Yeah,
sometimes you have to wait for the
yeah.
police and stuff like that.
And you got to be really careful to read the law, because if you do something you're not allowed to do as a security guard, you can get arrested or something.
Yes.
So you,
yes.
you have to really be careful about what your duties are, what you're allowed to do based on the law.
Yeah.
And because there have been instances where security guards have gone too far and they've done too much. They were like too violent, and they've kind of overstepped their boundaries.
Yeah.
And they've done things that they're not allowed to do as a security guard. So it's kind of very, very, very. It kind of depends on what state you're in, or what province you're in, or what country you're in. I mean, reading the law is like very, very careful. Even like self-defense, like you gotta read what you're allowed to do for self-defense.
Yeah.
Because there've been people that have tried to do self-defense stuff, and they've been arrested for it because they've overstepped boundaries.
Yeah.
There's actually a guy in France who he was like a farmer in France. He got robbed by some people, and he ended up using a gun and shooting them. And then the police arrested him because they don't have many self defense laws in France. Like maybe you can do that in America,
Hmm.
you can't do that in France. So that's why every citizen it's like their duty to read like what are the laws in your country. What are you allowed
Right.
to do? Because you're gonna like get yourself in serious trouble if you don't like read your own laws and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I feel like that should be something in school, like that they should
Yeah.
that should be like a mandatory course in school, that
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
be exposed to at least the most important laws of your country before becoming an active citizen, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's like civics class where you learn about like the specific laws and stuff. And
I hope you enjoyed that clip of the HH podcast. If you want to see another clip, click here down to your left. And if you want to see the whole unedited episode, click down here to your right. And last but not least, if you want to subscribe, you can do so here in the middle. Thank you.